and welcome to Fashionology today. It is May 16th, 2023. I am so excited to have all of you here with us today. We've got CEO, designer for Rosario George, the lifestyle brand, Mr. Tony Vincente. Without further ado, let's bring him in. Hello, Tony. How are you today?
I am fantastic, my friend, and I'm so excited to be here and so excited to talk with all of our friends and family and fans.
Awesome. We're excited to have you today. I know you've been on our show before, but specifically actually to talk about models and the model talk.
Yes.
How models are treated and how all of us can do better. So today we're talking all about you, and we're talking about your brand and everything else that's going on in your life. You had told me right off camera, or just off camera, that you are a lifestyle brand, and you certainly are. But as we put up there the website for your brand,
yes,
take us back to the beginning. This show today is about you, for you, and everyone that loves your brand.
Awesome. Well, one, I love talking about me, so this is awesome.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But I do want to say, first and foremost, happy season 3 to you.
Thank you. Very exciting. I know, right? We're just cruising through. Every episode is so amazing. And we have such a wait list, by the way,
Yes.
for our show that it's been extraordinary. What a great experience. We're glad to have you here today.
Likewise to be here. So a little bit about Rosario George. We started out in 2018. The funny thing is, we really didn't catch our footing until about 2021. And that's when I first introduced our couture line. And it caught the attention of the beauty industry, the pageant industry. And it just made me feel really good over the fact that, you know, the first year that we did couture, that it was so well received. Not saying that, you know, prior collections weren't well received. Everything was pretty much like ready to wear.
Sure.
To branch out into couture was something exciting. It was something new and scary at the same time. And
absolutely,
the fact that it was received really well and still is today makes me feel fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. And every year you just keep growing, you know, the brand as a whole.
Yes.
Whether it's, like you said, whether it's ready to wear or timeless shoes, you're also in, what is the Leaping Bunny certified beauty?
Yes, we actually do have a 5-star rated beauty line, RG Beauty, and it is cruelty free.
That's awesome.
And because it has been cruelty free and again 5-star rated, it caught the attention of Leaping Bunny, which is the biggest organization to make sure that all brands, beauty-wise, are cruelty-free, never used on animals, never tested. And that's something that was very essential and very important to me. But, you know, everything we do, I always want to make sure we do it ethically, and we also do it as a way of making sure everything is protected, whether it be the animals to human beings. We want to make sure every product that we use, every product that we sell is safe, sustainable, and good for the environment. Because
it's great. Absolutely. And I was hoping right now you would tell us a little bit about before you created a brand in 2018. What is your story? Where do you come from? In case you're, you know, 500,000 followers aren't aware, tell us all.
Well, I am from the East Coast. You know, I was born and raised into fashion. My mom was a major fashionista. My sister was as well. I remember the best day of my life was my mom taking me to the Versace store on Fifth Avenue. And I was just like, okay, can we live here?
Right.
From that point on, I just really loved fashion. The connections that my mom had allowed me some opportunities in the industry. I will say back then, being young, I wasn't ready for what the environment was. And I decided to just step away. And then as I came here to Washington State, which is where I live currently, we, and I say we because of my partner is super essential to what I do.
Of course. We all have to have a partner. That's for sure.
Exactly. Mine is the best. So I'm just so excited that, he always made sure that every action I did, there was some support behind it. And, he just let me go with whatever made me happy. And it started out with paintings. I had a really bad day at a job, which I will not mention. And I came home for no reason. I looked on our garage and I seen some canvases and some paints, and I just picked it up and
Oh,
created my first painting. And I
wow.
just started painting and painting. People were buying my paintings, and it was starting to become, I was becoming well known as an artist.
That's great.
And the company called Shop Vita reached out because they liked my art, they liked my aesthetics, they liked the fact that I was involved in a lot of like home decor. I did videos for eHow. I was on HGTV. So people were I was beginning to be noticed as an influencer in the beauty and
And
in
home.
home decor
Mhm.
space. They wanted to see if I'd be interested in doing a line of garments for them. And I said, sure, why not? The first year I became their top seller.
Oh, wow. That's
And thank you. And it made me realize, you know what? Let me try it myself.
yeah.
And it was a lot of trial and error. I will say my first collection, my partner will always say, oh no, it's fantastic. It was the first collection. You know how
Right.
this goes.
We all had a first collection.
Yes. And from then on, I really learned a lot about the industry. I learned about working with different vendors. I learned about textiles, and I taught myself everything I needed to know to be where I am today.
That's amazing. And,
Thank you.
it's always great to have such an inspirational story behind you that you can really rely on and think about.
Yes.
That's where I've come from. Here's where I'm going.
Hmm.
And just remember exactly where you began. And before we continue,
Agreed.
I want to show this amazing video of the brand Rosario George. Be right back. I mean, right?
I
It's
love that commercial.
it's exciting, it's loud, but it's perfectly loud. I love it.
Exactly. And that's where we're going with our current collection.
Where?
So it's all about being loud, love, you
Mhm.
name it. It's not a time to be quiet, and it's definitely not a time to be quiet in fashion.
That's right. Exactly. I'd love everyone to know that you are also going to be at the fifth annual Couture and Cars fashion show, right?
Mhm.
And that is in, it's called LeMay America's Car Museum in Tacoma, Washington. Tickets are available now already, correct?
That is correct.
Great. And you're going to be unveiling the Rosario George L4, which is Love, Lord, Leather, and Lace collection,
Yes, indeed.
exclusively at the fifth annual Couture and Cars fashion show. Can you tell us any more? What's behind you? Is that part of it? Tell us a little bit.
Well, you know what? It is, in fact, a part of what's I'm going to be showing. I wanted to do a little teaser. I already showed it to fans on social media, so it's for people who are watching the show today. I wanted to just showcase a little bit of what Rosario George, the L4 collection,
Sure.
is entailing. So yes, this is a
Amazing.
sneak peek.
It looks great.
Thank you.
I just love it. Is it long? Is it a mini?
No, it's long. It's long. I wanted to do couture style gowns with a twist. And I
It's
have
a
to tell you, the last gown for the L4 collection that's going to be shown exclusively at Couture and Cars
Mhm.
is going to be something no one has ever seen on a runway before.
Oh, really?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, well, you have my attention. That's for sure. You absolutely have my attention. I think you've got all of our attention, that's for sure.
Mhm.
And we'd love to talk to you a little bit more after this commercial break. We'll be right back from Liberty Mutual.
Right.
So then I said to him, you ought to customize your car insurance with Liberty Mutual, so you only pay for what you need.
Oh, Doug, can we talk about something other than work? It's the weekend.
Yeah. Weekend. Weekends are a lot like insurance.
Yeah.
Yep. Hot dog or chicken? Hot dog.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Haha, and thank you to all of our advertisers for being a big part of the Fashion Network and specifically Fashionology today, of course. You are watching the Fashion Network, where we are all fashion all the time. And we're talking to Mr. Tony Vincente with Rosario George. I love it. So you've got a huge event coming up in July. July 22nd is the 5th annual Couture and Cars Fashion Show. But prior to that, you actually have something very exciting happening right here on the Fashion Network. We are so excited that you are going to debut your show here with us, The Wine Room, right here on FNTV. And of course, your tagline is incredible. Grab a glass and let's talk Fash. Can you take our viewers through some exciting guests that you are going to be having on your show?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so excited to kick things off on the 31st with my best friend and also host of the top podcast Behind the Velvet Rope, David Yontef.
That's right, David Yontef. I know, he's exciting. Boy, he is all over, isn't he?
Isn't he, though? I love it. And it seems like our paths always seem to grow at the same time. And to this day, like I said, he's absolutely my best friend in the whole universe. So it's exciting to have my best friend on for my very first episode.
That's really exciting. You also have amazing other episodes coming up, but you did mention it real quick, just in case it wasn't clear. You are going to debut your first episode of The Wine Room right here on FNTV on May 31st. May 31st, right here. I mean, that's in like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Mr. David Yontef, but you have some amazing guests. I was reading about your August guest actually, but you have some incredible guests coming up. Let everybody know. Can you tell everybody who a couple of them are and what a couple of your episodes are going to be about?
Absolutely. So I'm excited to also have the wonderful Carmen Best coming on. Carmen Best has been also making the rounds. You've seen her on Today's Show. You've seen her on Dr. Phil. She is just one of the most amazing people. And she was also Seattle's first Black African-American lady to be our chief of police. So it's exciting. She's always been uplifting and influential to me. And I'm excited to be sitting across from her and talking about her book, which is out now called Black and Blue, and just really getting everyone to know the fashionable side of Miss Carmen Best as well.
I love it. Incredible. And I'm sure while you're grabbing a glass and talking Fash on your new Wine Room, you will also be, premiering some more of your new brand essentials, whether it's a specific collection. Where do you see yourself going with Rosario George?
Well, I see us becoming a major force in the fashion industry. I see us being a force of change in the industry itself. Being Black and African American is, it's really not an easy transition sometimes into the industry. I feel blessed over the fact of how things work for me, but I hear and see a lot of different designers, and they don't have the ability, they don't have the not the ability, but the teams, the people behind them to help guide them where they need to be. And I want to be one of those people that they can reach out to, that they can aspire to. Again, it's not an easy industry. You had to have that drive to be in the industry, and don't take no for an answer. Don't feel like you have to, succeed day one.
Right.
It does take a while. And to this day, I'm not exactly where I want to be as far as like Gucci and Louis Vuitton yet, but I know it's coming.
Absolutely.
You just got to put in the work, keep it positive, stay strong, and just believe in what you're doing.
Yeah, and I think you have to walk before you run.
Very true. And it took a while for me to get that that mind state. I'm still learning a little bit from it.
Me too, right here. I think that a lot of us creatives
Mhm.
come up with an idea and we run, and
Right.
we don't run away, we run to Z, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes we need to pick up the pieces from A to Z in order to truly be able to present ourselves in the best way and
Right.
show everyone what was in our heads.
Exactly.
They're quickly put down on paper so that we can get everyone together. And
It's funny. You bring up something that made me really think. I'm really excited over the fact that one of our episodes that you'll be seeing on the Wired Room is the Top Model Boot Camp. It's something that's put on every year by a group of fantastic models and model coaches. And for a full week, you get literally the opportunity to learn what it is to be a model, what it takes as far as like eating right, to ways to de-stress. It's a really cool program, and
model boot camp.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to be shooting an episode with them and just shining a light on what the boot camp is, and also some of the people that are there. Everyone has a story, and I'm really excited to just learn about what their stories are.
Yeah, absolutely. I know my staff sends an email to our potential guests.
Yes.
And I know it starts with everyone has a story to tell and product to share. And
Right.
I think no matter what we're doing in the industry, that's really what we're all trying to achieve. And speaking of that, I would love to mention that the Designer Debut TV show and competition just opened last week. And we're really excited to be working with Runway 7 Fashion to present this. I'm going to give you guys a little teaser. Would love to show you what's coming up with the Designer Debut competition, so that all these designers that are watching can have a chance to win this competition. Be right back.
One more time.
And for everyone that's watching or wants to know more, the winner receives hotel and airfare, their own Times Square billboard in New York, runway show that's phenomenal from Runway 7 Fashion, of course, media coverage, red carpet events, and more. And it's for this coming New York Fashion Week in September. All you have to do is go to thefashionnetworkus.com/designer debut to enter. I just got off an amazing 30-minute Zoom with one of our judges, Mr. Joseph Diachatis, who's Forbes style editor-in-chief, among having hundreds of others of other publications that he's written for and about. Including various designers. And speaking of editorials being written, you, Mr. Tony Vincente, have been in countless magazines, British Vogue, GQ, New Face magazine. I mean, just so many. How do you do it all? And also, I want to know, is there a collection, sector of the industry that you haven't challenged yourself to do, that you're thinking of, whether that's menswear or swim or bridal?
Well, to start it off, to answer your question, I love doing fashion editorials. It's my happy place. I love doing the creative direction, thinking about what the themes are going to be. And I also do all of our wardrobe styling for these editorials. So I get to just really tell the story that I really feel needs to be told. And yes, we've been in over 100 plus publications around the world.
Holy cow.
And yeah. And
You
more to
also
come.
have your name out there for sure. And you want your name to be in every household. You have to put yourself out there.
Exactly. And doing what I'm doing as far as creative direction for fashion editorials, it definitely does help.
Yeah.
I notice every time we do post a new fashion editorial, we get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of followers. So I'm really excited about the opportunity those editorials have created for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
In regards to what I haven't touched, I won't lie, there isn't any. I've literally involved in everything. We just, a part of L4's big debut is our men's collection. We now do bespoke suits for men. We have new tees for men. We have sweaters. We're really doing we're running the gamut.
Yeah, the true lifestyle brand.
Right. Beyond being just clothing and beauty, I feel a really solid brand is one where it enriches almost every portion of every person's life.
Sure.
And that's what Rosario George is. When I first came up with the whole brand idea, that was my whole goal. It wasn't just doing fashion. It wasn't just doing two things. I wanted to encompass everything that makes life beautiful. And I feel like that's what Rosario George stands for. We stand for quality. We stand for a luxury life, but we also stand for a luxury life on a budget. No one should ever have to spend too much to look luxurious. That's what the beauty of Rosario George is.
That's a great point. Absolutely. I think it's imperative to be able to provide a price point that is attainable.
Right.
For the majority of us men and women, right?
Mhm.
It's not strictly couture, Altier or bespoke that is very much traditionally out of anyone's price range. So bravo to you for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have so much going on. It's just so exciting. We have one more commercial break. I think it's FedEx, and we're excited to share that commercial. And we'll be right back to finish up our talk with Tony Vincente and Rosario George.
There's a couple things I'd like to say to you. After all the crazy things that we've been through, I needed you in the dead of night, the wake of the day, first broken light, and blind I'd follow you. I never realized how much I needed you.
Comfort. What we deliver by delivering.
Welcome back. We only have a few minutes left. I can't believe how quick every one of these shows goes, right? I mean, it's just amazing. But Tony, tell us a little bit about where you see yourself in 10 years.
Ooh, in 10 years. I definitely see Rosario George being a major household name. I definitely want to continue to make an impact on our world. So I see my hands involved in various foundations and charities, and just making to me, that's my whole final goal, is to make an impact on the world. So in 10 years, I definitely want to continue that on a broader scale.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you're going to be doing that. I'd love to mention everyone become an FNTV member today. By being a member of the Fashion Network, you get exclusive updates, emails, newsletters. For example, the weekly Friday Fashionable Find email. For example, you get 15% off at R13, which is unheard of. What about 20% off your entire cart at Saks Fifth Avenue and many more. So we hope you guys will become an FNTV member today, and you get to know more about Mr. Tony Vincente by going on blogs and reading posts and talking to him in our fashion forum. We're excited that we were able to have you on today, Tony. And I think it's really special that you have agreed and are just taking your new TV show, The Wine Room, to the next level by even your first guest, Mr. David Yontef. But we're excited. Are you excited to have your own show?
I am extremely excited. It's always been a goal of mine to
Absolutely.
have my own talk show. And thank you and my whole Fashion Network family for providing that opportunity.
Absolutely. We hope all of you will join us again next week on Fashionology Today. We actually will have next week on our show, Mr. Joseph Diachatis, again, who is he is, of course, incredible as one of the Forbes media style editors-in-chief. He's written hundreds of different articles and editorials, and we look forward to having him on. But you can always find Tony Vincente and Rosario George at therosariogeorge.com or right here on the Fashion Network. If you go to thefashionnetworkus.com/The Wine Room. His TV show starts and debuts May 31st, right around the corner. Thank you, Tony. Thanks for being on our show. We're excited to see where you go and all these amazing things that are happening.
Thank you again, my friend. And I look forward to seeing all of you on the 31st.
Wonderful. And don't worry, we're going to be promoting that a lot. Guys, everyone take care. And as always, as I say, live the most fashionable you.